Hi, I am Muchakwa and today I will be taking you through completing the square. Completing the square. Let's say you are given an equation x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equals to 0. So the first step that you have to make sure is to make sure that your equation is in the standard form of 8x squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Of which, if we look at this equation, x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equals to 0, it's already in the standard equation of ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So we can start completing the square from here. Then the first step that you have to do, you have to take the constant, which is negative 3, to the other side of the equal sign. So we will be left with an equation x squared plus 2x is equals to 3, which 3, when it goes to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes positive. And from here, the next step that you take, you have to make sure that the quotient of x squared, you divide the entire equation with the quotient of x squared, so that x squared will be left with only with a quotient of 1. For in this case, in this equation, the quotient of x squared is equals to 1, then we don't have to divide through by its quotient. However, if it was maybe negative x squared plus 2x equals to 3, then we will have to divide the entire equation by negative 1. Then only if it's 1, then we don't divide. But if it's other, if it's a negative 1 or a 2 or any other number, you have to divide the entire equation by that number. Alright, from here, now that the quotient of x squared is equals to 1, we skip that step because it's already 1, we can't do anything about it. The next step that we have to do, we add half of the quotient of x and we square it on both sides of the equal sign of the equation. Here, then we add half of the quotient of x, of which our quotient of x here is 2, then we divide by 2, which will give us 1. Half of it, half of 2 is equals to 1. Then we square it. We do that on both sides of the equation, which we also, this is an equal sign, sorry guys. So here it's equals to, then it will be 3 plus 1 squared as well. From here, then we'll be left with x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equals to 3 plus 1 gives us 4. Alright, from here the next step that we do, we factorize this side of the equation, which is x squared plus 2x plus 1. Now what you have to ask yourself is, what are the factors of 1 that will, when we add them, they will give us 2, and when we multiply them, they will give us 1, of which in this case it's 1 and a 1. Then it will be x plus 1 squared is equals to 4. X plus 1 here squared will give us, if we have to take it back to the equation, it will be x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equals to 4. Then we take this 4 to the other side of the equal sign, it will be x plus 1 squared minus 4 is equals to 0. Now we have completed the square. A quick recap, we are completing the square. The equation that we have is x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equals to 0. The first thing that we have to make sure is the equation in the standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is a standard form of a quadratic equation. Then the next step, we must divide the quotient of x squared along the entire equation, of which in this case the quotient of x squared is equals to 1, then we don't have to worry about that. But if it was a negative 1 or a 2 or a 3, then we're going to divide the entire equation by that number. Then the next step that we do, we add half of the quotient of x and then square it again. Then the half of 2, the quotient of x in this case is 2. When we half it, it will be 1. Then we add 1 and we square it. We do that on both sides of the equation. Then we also add 1 squared on this side of the equation. We will be left here on the other side of the equation with x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equals to 4. Then we factorize the side of the equation, of which we got x plus 1 squared and then is equals to 4. We then take 4 into this side of the equation, which will be negative 4 is equals to 1. I hope you guys learned a lot from this session and you will continue to watch them as I upload them every day. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Maths XYZ. so that you can get daily notification when we upload videos. Thank you.